Today when we were having a chat to our mentee who wants to be an influencer, I think she has all the elements, all the ingredients that are required to be a fantastic influencer. She's personable, she's got the X factor, she has a desire to make a difference. But you know what I said to her was, I said, look, there are two types of influencers. There are the types of influencers that are not really interested in solving any complex problem. They are going to tell you things that you want to hear. When you hear messages like, be kind, be positive, it's never too late, things like that. It's what people want to hear. We crave to hear those things because there is what I call the types of influencers that try and validate your poor choices. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They are going to create feelings of relief in you. They're going to make you feel nice about your situation temporarily. And then what will happen is you're going to get hooked onto those influencers. You're going to love them because they have just validated your poor choices. They'll say things like, be kind, because it's easy to do, right? It's just easy to do. They'll tell you things like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. So they will almost absolve you of any self-responsibility. They'll tell you things like, it's never too late, right? So you feel like, there is no time limit on anything. They'll tell you that it's okay to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So they continue to propagate and encourage these messages. And then what happens is you want to hear this stuff, especially if you're somebody who's failing, who's struggling, who's stagnant in life. You get hooked onto that because here is somebody who's powerful, and they're validating your poor choices, and they're telling you in a way that you're not making poor choices. So you're going to follow them, and you end up loving them. And here is the thing. I've had people who followed such influencers 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and I asked them, what have you actually learned from them? Have you learned anything substantial? Have you solved any of your life's complex problems by following these people? And the answer is always the same. They really haven't. They really haven't. It's like these influencers are creating this delusion in them. Now, there is a second class of influencers who are going to tell you what you need to hear. They're not going to validate your choices. If you're struggling, you're stagnant, you're failing in life, you're not where you want to be, the second class of influencers, they're not going to validate your choices. They may even make you feel bad. They may make you feel guilty. They're not going to say that you can continue to make mistakes. As an example, I'm the second class of influencers. I say to people, you can make a mistake, but you cannot make the same mistake more than 2 or 3 times. I'm the one that tells people that there is such a thing called a time limit. I've seen it. I used to be an advisor. I dealt with so many people who had left it too late, and there was nothing that they could do to fix their problem. There is such a thing in life as time, and there is a point in life where the time runs out. So I'd be sitting with people and I'd be going, there is no way to fix this now. There's nothing you can do to rectify this. But there are other influencers that would say to them, there's no rush. Take your time, right? It's never too late. Yes, it is late at times. There are certain things you can't reverse. There are certain situations where time runs out. There are certain mistakes that you're going to regret and you cannot undo. But you know what? I will never be in the popular category because the thing is, I will be always those people. I'll be one of those class of influencers who's always going to speak the inconvenient truth that people don't want to hear, and mostly will not validate the choices of people that are struggling. I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'll tell what they need to hear. I might cause temporary pain in them now, but in the long term, there's a chance that they will solve their problems and they'll achieve permanent transformation. But I'm never going to be as big. And look, I have the choice. I could sit here and I could put out simple, basic, elementary messages on kindness, being nice, on being positive, on saying things like, you have time, there's no stupid questions, you have all the time in the world, you can continue to make mistakes, right? I can say those things and people will love if I say those things. But I will feel like I'm not really being honest with these people. So I guess the reason I'm talking about this is because I want people to be discerning about what they're listening to. Just because somebody says something that makes you feel good about yourself right now, validates your choices and gives you temporary relief, it doesn't mean it's good for you. It's like a sugar pill, right? It tastes nice, but it does more damage than a bitter pill that doesn't taste nice, but is healthier for you. We learned these lessons as a child. We learned to make a discernment between sweet talk and real talk. I'm surprised here in 2023, I still see so many people, the majority, fall for these things. You look at the number of people that follow entertainers. Look at the number of people that follow Kardashians. They follow Bollywood actors, Hollywood actors. Like, those people are not even helping them. They're not even making them think. They're not even challenging them. They're not even showing them, enabling them how to solve their problems. And yet, the masses in the hundreds of millions will follow these people just because they're craving those temporary feelings of, you know, I'm feeling good. It's given me relief. You're validating my choices. You know, there's a saying in religion that one of the greatest tricks that the devil played on people is convincing them that he doesn't exist. People are being deceived, but they don't even know they're being deceived. And they are turning away from people who will tell them the truth and turning towards people who are going to give them the sweet lies. I find it disappointing. I find it painful at times. I know I have had marketing people work with me who have said to me, change your tact. I know if I do, I know if I make it all about looks and make it funny and I make it about appearance and I make it all about those superficial things that people want to watch but doesn't transform their lives, I could be bigger and more popular. But that's not my vision. That's not my mission. I have to do it the right way, even if it means I'm disliked, people unfollow me, and it hurts, but I still can't get myself to change my tact and deceive people because I don't want to be that first class of influencers. I want to be the second class of influencers that actually tell people what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear.